Good morning, everyone. So this pattern suggested follow through, and we've got it, which is going to make certain longs more difficult. So we have to look at things that could play catch up, as we call it. And always looking to the left here, you can see how the S&Ps are reaching this prior high. So I call this bullish gap up after several days long equals turkey longs, because to enter here at resistance after several days up, unless you're scalping, doesn't make a lot of sense. And even as a scalper, you can see here the 5-minute chart, that little breakout that the majority, well, whoever's looking at it went long. You could say the majority went long. Anybody shorting got caught, and it just screamed up on the 5-minute. And so now, are pullbacks viable? They could be. They could be. Looking at SPY, we'll have to see what sets up there, but there's, I think, better things or catch up things like the Qs. Like NASDAQ futures have room before they reach resistance, and they also broke out. So this could be a continuation pattern up, but you have to keep an eye on to see if the FANG stocks play catch up. I don't know if I have here. Yeah, here's one. I think there's another one here. You can see this is the equal weighted Qs. So the FANG stocks have been underperforming. Breadth is expanded. This is pushed up into resistance area. So looking at QQQ or T triple Q, right, to play some catch up, you can see this looks like could be a little continuation pattern. And it's through the gap. So now you're filling the gap. You've got an unfilled gap below. So buying a pullback into that gap fill certainly could make sense, depending on the pattern. And you see a little acceleration movement. We'll see if it breaks this pre-market congestion there, or whether it holds on a pullback. So what's moving things, what's news on that moved bonds lower? Well, bond prices lower. Let's see yields. Here's the 10-year gapping lower. So now looking at, I put TBT here. You can see, this moving down. It was at this resistance area that we looked at last week. Okay, just looking at some comments. So TLT bond prices, see down here near this pivot low and this reversal that began, it's gapping up here. So those interested, could be considered as a long, starter long. Maybe it fills the gap, maybe it doesn't, since it's at this resistance, but it's down a whole lot. It's at an area of support. It's gapping up, yields moving down, which I just covered there. So this is something to consider. You can see bond prices here. And you can see down here near the pivot, and it's gapping up after several weeks of consolidation. There, and you can see it on the daily chart. So this is the 30-year. Here's the 10-year. And you can see the little stabilization there. So a little counter trend trade setup that suggests it's going to stabilize here. We'll see how far it gets, but for a counter trend trade after a few weeks of stabilization here, it's worth consideration. How much does that mean? We buy pullback to trigger price and or we measure retracement. I'm not sure how to follow that question. So, buying pullbacks on things that are possibly just getting started, like something like this, which I mentioned to Dan a little while ago. This is gapping up from a consolidation. You can see where my cursor is on the 65-minute. So, that gapped up, I suspect, maybe on earnings. It looks like that kind of a gap, and it consolidated here. So, this pulling back into a gap fill, you could consider something like that. TLT might pull back. The Qs or triple Qs, you might want to consider that. It's got room to go up. Alex is mentioning BRK.B. Oh, he hit his target. He's out on that. All right, so that was something that was consolidating last week. But look, this gap up, I don't know that it'll be a gap in crap, but look, there's a high probability that there's going to be sellers on something that's been up from a pullback to support. And look at the Dow here. All right, that's clearing the prior high. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to collapse, but look, if you're long from here, it makes sense to take profits. Now, if it's a stock, it's moving up like that, you consider covered calls, of course. But one of the concepts that we consider is after a greater than 100% retracement, move from down here, clearing the high, take half off. It's your choice, sell the whole thing. But it's likely that there's going to be some profit taking. And again, this accelerated higher with everything else. The Russell, same kind of pullback. There were tons of pullback patterns last week, and they're reaching a targeted area, resistance. You can see a little profit taking that's going on there. If that ran up, so you're going to be careful here. You're always careful, of course, but intelligent trading suggests buying here unless from a daily chart perspective, it's impossible to go long here because there's no place to put a stop. But maybe after pulling back a couple of days here, Thanksgiving holiday, typically bullish, before and after, you get some little corrective price action and it can continue to move higher. Bitcoin down a little bit here. Profit, it's extended, looks like, I don't know. Yeah. The futures hit 100,000. It hit what everybody was looking for it to hit there. And now it's pulling back from there. You see a little topping pattern there on the 65-minute chart. I read somewhere where I read it. I don't know whether, different opinions. I think it was today. Someone saying it's going to hit 250,000 in 2025. Who the hell knows? It did consolidate for an awful long time before it broke out. So, technical analysis 101 is buy a pullback. All right, gold is down this morning. So the reversal, gold stocks are considered possible shorts on some of them. That might be extended. Yeah, crude oil, which is reversing back down. Right, we've been talking about this support level. That's holding for now. So oil stocks that are extended, XLE, we saw some profit taking, those little topping tails that formed last Thursday and Friday as this moved up toward this resistance area and crude oil toward resistance. And so now this turned down. Where's my cursor? There. Not that big a deal yet. It had a nice move. So short term makes sense to either sell it or take something off the table. Silver didn't participate, so it showed relative weakness to gold, and that's dropping. It's likely to continue to drop. Oh, there we go, continuing to move down, but just a little consolidation there. No setup on the daily. And semiconductors, which see if today saves the day. Let me put my cursor here because I keep looking at that. I took it off because it was getting in the way of okay, so not an impressive gap up but these semiconductor stocks obviously have not participated. So very interested in what they do. NVIDIA didn't participate last week. It got rejected on the breakout. So this is something to keep an eye on, not gapping up significantly here. What does it say? So daily pattern was plus. I'm not sure what you were referring to. Oh, the Qs was nice, plus 12 on daily, now gapping up. Right. So what I was explaining earlier and answering a question there in the social media posts. So for the Qs to if you looked at QQQE, equally weighted, it's up near resistance. What's going to bring, well, what stopped triple Qs from showing relative weakness? The FANG stocks. So if you want to go long the Qs, you need those FANG stocks to start to participate. Right? If what held it down, if you think it's going to continue to move up, which the pattern suggests it does, but why didn't it go up? So the reasons why it didn't go up, what I said, they need to kick it in, and that could help it go up. Or just trade the pattern, And if you go long this, right, and it stalls, well, probably know why. You don't have to look at those stocks. But if it pulls back into the gap fill, longs at support certainly makes sense. You can see what it does. But longs into resistance do not make sense when they're gapping up. All right. I was looking at ETFs there. You can see we looked at the futures, but IWM gapping up into resistance. It's just these are things to take money off the table, not new longs. And this is just common sense. Financials broke out last week. Look at financial stocks, maybe pullbacks on financial stocks. But I think you got to be a little cautious, as we always are, and buy pullbacks toward support with the appropriate patterns. Regional banks look great, but again, moving up toward resistance, $68. Yeah, so gapping up near that pivot high, you can see the cursor on the pre-market 5-minute chart. So again, buying gap ups do not make sense when things have been going up several days in a row. Transports. These could be playing some catch up. We don't see what's doing on pre-market, but everything's near resistance. So while the markets have moved up from the pullback areas, they're up near resistance, take money, sit on the sidelines, go shopping for your turkey, or look, we'll see what sets up intraday, right? And that's what we're going to do today. We'll see what sets up, as we always do, and see what participates, or things that are gapping up, maybe call spreads, gap and craps, things that have moved up. And, again, and I shared some ideas pre-market. I guess I'll go over some of those with you. And as always, we'll just see what transpires today. All yours, Dan.
Oh, good morning. I've been busy here adjusting things. A lot of alarms going off. We were very bullish last week, obviously, on the turn. We did very well. So yeah, I'm going to be more focused on managing these opens. Yeah, I'm doing it right now. Put the mic on the other computer. I'll be, concentrating on opens here. Selling some in the strength. This FANG here, my up alarm went off. Now it's down. We have a put spread on this. Plus, it's a directional over the high. Let me set alarms here. So alarms. Voya. I don't see any prints, but yeah, so this is kind of a sloppy buy setup, but it made a 4-bar turn. So it's something like this. Greg emphasized it, but I'm going to be emphasizing it nonstop whenever the markets get like this. Well, spiders aren't as bad. IWM, we nailed this term. We don't buy things like this. They have to, my simple recipe is close to support in the 20. So there you go, depending on where it opens up. Now this one is good. Wow. And there's just, this looks like holiday greed here. They're chasing in a frenzy. Free market here. Delta 20, Home Depot. I mean, you missed your entry. The entry was Friday. Entry was Friday. It's a bull flag. I think we might have had a foot spurt on that even, and then LOW also. But there's no entry or day or swing. EMN. I mean, that's a little better, but still your entry was Friday from the bottoming pattern. I do like the 15-minute chart. So for day trades, over the high, stop under this tight base. Swing trade, look at the size of these two bars and look at all this resistance to the left. All right, back to my alarms. The Starbucks had a big old day Friday. I wish this would have been a fantastic 30-minute high on Friday. So I think I'm giving this shorting the $100 puts, I think that's what I did. Over the closing price, AAP. It's a sloppier buy setup, but I gave this on naked puts. Looks like a bottom. It's bottoming daily, weekly. And Friday was your something something bar. C, Citigroup. C, close to support. Not 4 vertical bars. So Citigroup looks good. Here, you know what? Hold on, I gotta tell subscribers don't chase things. Hold on. Let's gap in market. Wait for pullbacks. All right, so I'll be updating them one by one of which ones aren't too extended. So this one's gapping up almost $1. That's a breakout, daily, weekly, monthly. Banks look good, so that is a definite nice one on a pullback. Let's put that on the bottom right here. Setting alarms. All right. A ring. I gave as a naked put idea. It's sloppy, but it made the turn. Igniting bar. We'll try to sell a naked put. CLSK 180 breakout. We can buy half a lot of the stock over Friday's high. WIGME similar 180 reversal breakout. KNX made the turn after a buy setup. I just got to go through these one by one at the open. I don't see much volume, but if it's gapping to 59, then it's the trade's ruined if it's gapping to 59. But that's okay. We got a ton of great opens. All right, those are all my alarms going off pre-market. Let me just start plowing through my interest list here. BBWI had earnings. Gap's too big. Okie, yeah, a number of these oil stocks are getting climactic. So these will be call spread ideas. Okie, Greg gave me a couple others here. TRGP, KMI. See, there's no turn yet. They're just watches. Look at this igniting breakout. See that this is a great example of, igniting with your flat 20 and into the 50. Wow. Sophie, gapping up. Another getting climactic there. Honeywell alarm just went off. There you go. There's a buy setup. Now we talked about this Friday. The only thing that would make this pattern better is if I wish Thursday was a bigger reversal bar. So I was working on the trade review this morning, and here's an example. IWM. See how this is a bigger gap range engulfing reversal. And then to boot, we had a 1, 2, 3. I mean, that was such a no-brainer setup right there. So Honeywell, I still like it. It's still in the ladder, but I'm just showing you that's what would make it better. GDX, made the, remember we were talking about, I actually had this this was in last weekend's letter or whatever. I'm selling naked puts on GDX, but this gap up on Monday messed it up. We didn't get our premium. That turned out to be a gap and go. We got to watch this next pullback. Ideally, it will set up in like 3 to 5 days. I'd like to see a couple consecutive bars, higher low, bullish reversal, and then that will be our entry. Snow got an upgrade, but no pattern. I saw news that this LSCC, well, it's not buying the whole company. They were talking about buying parts of something or other at Intel, but it was making a turn at the 20. I'm gonna put Intel here. Intel doggy. This was a nice start here, gapping over this red bar. Then look, you got 2 bottoming tails, you got a green bar. That would have been a good anticipatory entry right there, half lot. And now it's kind of a consolidation flag pattern. So that's a 30-minute high idea. MTB, another bank, got an upgrade. It's up a couple days. The angle of these MAs are telling me it's getting extended, but I like the 15. Looks fantastic. So if the banks take out a 30-minute high and this chops around, that's a candidate. Oki's getting climactic. RL made the turn. See, it's a sloppy buy setup, but made the turn. That's a naked or put spread idea. Patet, another 180, kind of looks like Wigme. We sold $4 naked puts on Friday. I forget if that had earnings or not, but we got a nice trade there. Dollar General, sell setup, but it's now gapping to, any short that triggers is good to go, because then it's just relative weakness. Glancing at the Dow 30, Chevron is red by a few pennies, and Amgen. So Amgen's a sell setup. There you go, sell setup. That could be a set an alarm. XOM. It broke out. Hey, Greg, here's an example for you. So Wednesday, it's having shoulders patterns. Here's an inverse one. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. I got an alarm at 122. The BMY looks good. It was a 1, 2, 3, 4. So see again, my recipe close to the trigger bar, and close to the twin. So that is a tier 1 setup. I want to pull back, but it's the bigger the gap, the harder it's going to make it to get on board. JP Morgan, sloppy but breakout, strong sector. Elmi, Climo at the 200. Should have been in it on Friday though. I think Sam, these might be a couple on your list. Buy setup, 5-bar turn. That looks good. ACLX, I'll set an alarm at 91. I'm going to get slammed with alarms at the open, I know it. Talking about Sam, look at Sam I am here. There's a beautiful buy setup, 313.83. That looks fantastic. Sam I am. And you put spread idea. If there's any juice down there. Insight is kind of a continuation type pattern. Not sure how high it'll go. VNT, it's already up 3 bars. eBay, I would love a 1, 2, 3 on this. And then maybe target 65. There was the juice with the VIX is low. It's harder to find juicy premiums. I think when I looked, it was like a dime. FNF, I would like a 1, 2, 3. Jable, sloppy, but made the turn over time. And it's a fluid move down, so that has room to go up. DHI, it's gapping out of a bottoming pattern, put spread idea. That's a great put spread setup. So if somebody wants to help me at the open with these tier 1s, yeah, oil and gold is weaker this morning. You can set an alarm up here. I wouldn't touch it unless it has a closing breakout. All right, yeah, my alarms are going nuts. Kelia alarm, it's a Climo multi-bar turn. So I guarantee it's an hourly breakout also. BTR. That's not a short that triggered. That was one of those. Wow, the tick is over 1,500. Wow. All right, I'm gonna be slammed with alarms. So yeah, BTRs a go. Relative weakness, sell setup. Our playa looks good. My up alarm went off. Workhorse. I had an alarm at 113. It's no rush. AL. Wow. We are in trail mode on this. It looks great. We'll stop under 51. We only have a third left, so we'll just go into trail mode. But that was another beautiful Buy setup, no brainer. Yeah, nice out on selling some of that BMY is still ripping. Oh,
GFS gapped up from a consolidation pullback. Semiconductor stock. Can buy into the gap fill, 5 minute high or whatever, 30 minute high. Maybe it pulls back.
who?
GFS, Global Foundries.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm slammed with alarms here. Hey, Greg, your upstart, it's coming in hard. I gave 5 minute highs, which obviously we don't want, but if you want to keep an eye on it for alternate entry, you still like it.
Buy it into the gap fill.
Yeah, I just don't like when they come slamming in like that. Cat up alarm. Yeah, I liked Intel. I'm just slammed here. Our MicroStrategy low alarm went off. That was a call spread idea. Yeah, Don, that QBT thing, man. I wish we were in that on on that turn day. 315. No, TR. Yeah, that's short 5 minute low, 63.36.
Nvidia dropping pretty good.
There is. Wow. Amazon, Meta, Apple, and also Netflix tanking. This I had as a call spread under Thursday's low. Look at these 15-minute charts. Apple was a gap breakout. ALB. I'll put it on the list. See how it closes. NSSC. Sam, I don't know the pattern on this one, buddy. It's up 6 bars. You want me to buy that?
This Kathy Wood biotech stock, crispy, down near support, gapped up. Biotech, but it's the kind of thing that maybe it's been basing for several months. If you trade biotechs,
Mister was a call spread idea. It's spready though. Triple N. It's triggering. 4410. DHI said put spread. 163. 20 by 45 naked. There's no juice. I actually looked at the video for a call spread over the weekend where it's no juice. Hughes new high in spiders, man. They are in a holiday buying mood here. Yeah, no stop days low now. Under 400. Half at the open.
Yeah, an AVGO, maybe a put spread.
He's typically very spready. But yeah, I mean, look. Man, Qs are actually an igniting gap breakout on the 15 hourly. Impressive. Yeah, 36 naked. That's nothing. Cabo. We have a put spread. Bang, stopped out. Put spread. We closed half. We closed half on Friday. 180, 175. All right. Voya was a gap and go, so I can't take credit for that. Starbucks, okay on a pullback. AAP, that was a naked put. There's no way we're going to get filled. Canceling that. Ring. Man, these were all knifed out. You got filled. That was another naked put. No, 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 no. This was my bad. This one was a third lot as a core long. All right. So this one I'll post. Opened up 37.39. X. Gap and go. Can't take credit for it. I can't be a Monday morning quarterback. I wouldn't have bought that open. But we had nice patterns all over the place. Habitat, low alarm. It's still okay, but that's relative weakness to me. Oh, our kava is 10 cents. Kava put spread, I just noticed. I'm in it too. And I'm bidding 15 cents, but still no fill. BLSK. Ah, this one looks fantastic. So this one is going to be a clean hit. Ah, no, no. Oh, I see. I gave it over the closing price. So that's why I didn't give it over the high. So we're going to try to short 14 and a half puts. Let's see what those are at.
Hmm. Yeah, and check out Netflix call spread, maybe like 925.
It's already in the weekend letter.
I think you maybe want to do it.
Oh, well, I'm way behind. It might have triggered already. Let me look.
Probably, I guess. It traded under Friday's low, but other people not aware of it in the room anyway.
No, you know why? Because I gave it Thursday's low because I wanted to be really careful. That's why my alarm
So
didn't go.
far, well, I don't know what strike you gave, but 925, enough premium to do 10 wide.
That's what I did, but yeah, let me look. It's only 53 cents for $10 wide. And
And you can go closer, but I figured it's so far away.
I know, but the problem is if you stop out,
Well, it's always the case with a credit spread.
all right, let's try closer. 915, 920. All right, this one's better, 915.
cues coming into the pre-market support. See if it holds or whether it goes down to the daily support. My charts are up if you want to look. So those green lines are the pre-market support. UPST can enter here, $5 stop under yesterday's low, Friday's low. So obviously a starter type position or share size it accordingly. See that reaction. Enough people watching for that based on the daily pattern to get filled there. We'll see what it does.
This was a gap and go too, Sam. I love this pattern. So the question was that an excessive gap? Yeah, that was a nice pattern, Alex. Love it. Gap messed us up. Builder. Yep, another igniting. I mean, today's weird with the gap up, but yeah, a lot of things did very well. Yeah, I wrote it down. It's fine, it's rounding bottom. That's fine. Yeah, I wrote that down too. I like it. I think I said I didn't like the 15 though. I would watch it into the close.
Alex, I just saw on CNBC one of their comments, their closing arguments going on about this Google. Obviously, it can make it go either direction rapidly.
Nice 15-minute chart on Guggenheimer. Buy a half lot of this Citigroup here. We're actually buying calls. Number 64.
EMR starting to break out. I think it's a new all-time high. Yeah. And buy with a stop under Friday's low. This UPST, if you're a day trader, probably want to take the money. If you entered on the gap fill, it's 100% retracement. Yeah, Ford. I noticed Ford came back from that breakdown. S&P's SPX holding on the open, which you can see is on the pre-market support on my charts being displayed.
Netflix slow alarm.
Hughes reversal here. Day trade long. Use T triple Qs. Put the stop below that 5-minute base. It may come down and fill the gap. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. The Russell, don't stop that red line. I just didn't move it. I don't think it's lined up with anything. XLK is in the gap too, so maybe that turns around, helps the Qs. You can see looks good. You can see the 5-minute chart there. But SMHs look like crapola. Well, they're bouncing. SOXL bounced pretty good.
STT alarm. Yep. Yep. I actually had that on my 1, 2, 3, 4 list. And then, the deeper tracement was questionable, but yeah, you got to avoid.
Russell is getting climactic intraday anyway.